Let's look at Newton's first law. Newton's first law states that every object will remain at rest or in a uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change its state by the action of an external force. Here we see a stationary skateboard. According to Newton's first law, this skateboard will remain stationary unless it's acted on by an external force that causes it to move. In this clip, we see the skateboard begin to move. The skateboard will remain in motion unless another object applies force to it, causing it to halt, as seen here. Now let's take a look at how an unbalanced force can affect the motion of an object. For the next clip, let's act as if the skateboard is moving with a force of 50 newtons, and there's a headwind being applied to the nose of the skateboard with about 75 newtons. Due to the fact that the force that's being applied to the nose of the skateboard is greater than the force that the skateboard's using to move, we see that the skateboard will gradually come to a halt. This is a result from an unbalanced force. Now let's talk a little bit about mass and how it relates to Newton's first law. The tendency of an object to resist changes in its state of motion varies with mass. Here we see two objects with obviously different masses, a stone statue and a small eraser. The eraser with a small mass, as you can see, is easy to hit around. The stone statue, on the other hand, a bit larger in mass, is harder. Now to relate this back to Newton's first law, if the statue is moving at a constant velocity, it would be a bit harder to stop due to its mass. Now let's take a look at Newton's second law. This law states that the acceleration of an object as produced by a net force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the net force in the same direction as the net force and inversely proportional to the mass of the object. So to calculate force, we use the equation F equals ma. To break it down, force is equal to an object's mass times its acceleration. Now when you apply acceleration to an object and you increase it, the force being applied to that object will also increase. Now when you apply more mass to an object, you're going to have to apply more force to make it move and apply more force to cause it to stop. Now as you increase the force being exerted on an object, you'll also see an increase in the acceleration of that object. Now let's take a look at my favorite, Newton's third law. This law states that for every action in nature, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Here we can see an action and reaction pair. The action is my foot pushing against the ground, and the reaction is the ground pushing back against my foot, causing me to move forward on the skateboard. My foot is applying a force onto the ground that is equal to the force that the ground is pushing back up onto my foot to allow me to move. Thank you for watching.